ability to be great. You have to be willing to activate the great from within. It starts with you, and it starts right now. Good morning, Activate the Great World. Just sitting here chopping it up with my man, Tyler Davis.
Greg Thomas, how you doing, man?
Oh, man, just living, L-I-V-I-N.
That's all we can do.
That's it.
Oh, take it. Little Wooderson.
That's it. Hey,
yeah, man.
Exactly.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
Oh, tune in some more and
Yeah,
subscribe.
man. For
Get
real.
down.
Hit it.
Oh,
Share
yeah.
it.
That's it. Tell your friends.
Love the support, for real.
Oh, yeah. Some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, just like these little pivots, right? These little shifts in our mind, perspective change, if you will, that just kind of have you snap out of something. You know what I mean? Or recognize something.
Yeah, man. Big shifts in your paradigm, whatever you want to call it, the lens that you're looking through.
Yeah.
I mean, man, sometimes it's just a matter of just wiping it clean.
I think we do these things. We don't know why we do them. Why does this bother me? Why does this a trigger? Why is that a trigger? What are these triggers about? What is it really? What are these things anchored to?
And it can be deep sometimes, which is a lot of times why we don't even want to ask that question.
No, it is. Or the autopilot piece that we talk about a lot.
Yep.
So, today we're going to kind of talk about, addiction. I'm talking about the power of addiction as a human trait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let that land, people.
Yep.
Addiction is a human trait. We are addicted to something. What is your affliction?
Yeah, man, because we all got something.
You got something, whether you're addicted to behavior, you're addicted to TV, you're addicted to the couch.
Or
right?
feelings.
Or feelings, or the way you allow people to make you feel, or interpretations of situations that keep you in a certain place.
Just had a conversation the other day with somebody, and they were feeling like, the way people come at them, just, why does everybody come at me like that? And I had to ask them, I was like, you ever consider that maybe that's the filter?
Yeah.
Like, they don't necessarily mean that. It's just the filter that you're seeing things through.
No, that's it. And I think it's that a lot.
Well, yeah, I definitely would agree.
Yeah, more often than not, you're going to see that we are in control of this situation. They're the things that we do to ourselves versus people doing them to us.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Don't this person know? Don't they know? Like, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, well, how would they know?
What is it really? I think you're addicted to feeling that way is what I'm getting at.
Right.
That angst, that anxiety, you're addicted to it. You're used to, that's your normal. You've made it your normal. You totally made it a hardwired thing now versus like kind of getting back to your roots. Like, remember, I don't always remember being this way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about that. You got that little voice in your mind. You see something, you handle it a certain way. You're like, I never used to be like that.
Yeah.
What happened? When?
Yep.
Why? Well, don't get caught up in the minutia there. I think people want to understand the why, and they use that as a gatekeeper to start changing things now.
Yeah.
All you have to do is catch yourself. You know what I mean? You don't have to have the why. You just have to know that you don't like that anymore.
Yeah.
And you want to do something different.
Yep.
Right? I mean, I think that's what we're really talking about here.
And have a willingness to change.
Well, it is that. So why? 3 ways to change what you are addicted to.
Yep.
Number 1, recognize everybody's addicted to something. Not just the easy ones. Not just food.
Right.
Not just drinking. Not just drugs.
Yeah.
Not just smoking cigarettes.
Right.
It's not just those things. I mean,
it's the level of stress that they are. It's like emotional sea level.
Yeah.
Kind of like we've talked about, especially in this industry, it can be easy to stress out. And it's almost like if you don't have stress going on in your life, you create it.
You do create it.
Because that's your normal.
You're addicted to it.
Right.
You've made it so.
Yes.
And how many things do we make so? I was on a call, it was a tough call. And instead of trying to be combative, I just don't necessarily like that. So I tried something different. I was like, well, I'm not going to be combative with this. I am just reporting the news. I don't need to flex. Right. I don't need to throw weight around like I weigh 800 pounds. I'm not a silverback. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't need to pound my chest. Here's what it is. Here's what we can do. And here's how we can move on. And just be, just be in that, that youthful kind of glow of in calmness, right?
Approach it with like kind candor.
Which
is something I've heard Gary Vee say a lot.
Oh, dude. I
want
to get addicted to that.
Right.
The first pill that you have to choke down is that everybody's addicted to something.
Yep.
It doesn't mean you're up shooting meth, or heroin, or doing anything crazy like that to have a destructive tendency in your world or limiting.
And it's not all bad.
No, it's not all.
Recognizing.
It's recognizing
what your triggers are and what your addictions are.
Right. So that takes us into number 2,
yep.
right? Autopilot's a real thing.
Oh, yeah, man.
So when you talk about what you're addicted to, it's on a subconscious level too. There's these things that you do because you've programmed yourself so.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
man, for real. Like the old infomercial. Set it and forget it.
dude, for real.
Yeah.
And it will happen. Like, so these addictive behaviors, patterns, you're addicted to something that's creating that.
Yeah.
And furthermore, you're getting sustenance from it.
Right.
You're feeding off of it.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not.
Yep.
And this is the autopilot I'm speaking of.
Right. And that's the recognizing is the beginning of seeing that subconscious activity or emotion that you're feeding off of.
Yeah.
And until you recognize it, you can't change it.
You know, what you just said there made me think of, like, you know, what you're really doing is you're giving yourself an opportunity to have a new crossroads.
Yeah.
I'm going to be aware enough to decide, wait a minute, no, I don't like this autopilot response.
Yeah. I'm
going to be focused on getting addicted to something new, to being soothing, to being, you know, you're holding that space with people.
Yeah. Because
right?
Yes.
How many times do we get caught up in trying to, you know, kind of play defense and make sure that, you know, our sacred ground is covered and taken care of versus really putting everybody else first, knowing everything's going to work out,
right.
And get addicted to being a servant.
Yeah.
Right.
Servant mentality.
Servant mentality, like where I have the ability to change this person's space. I'm going to be intentional with this, which is kind of like on to the next one. But like, I'm going to do whatever I can to recognize autopilot and addictive tendencies are human traits.
Yep.
And if I'm not paying attention to it, they will consume me.
Yeah, man.
They will be self-limiting. They will keep me from achieving my goals. They will keep me down. They will keep me in this version of normal that a part of me knows I don't want.
Yep. Yeah, man. And somebody might be just on their autopilot when they hit you with something. Don't react. Don't fall into it. And it just perpetuates the situation on both sides.
It becomes a revolving door, doesn't it? Because you're sitting there thinking about how you wish you would have handled a situation differently. You know, like, you know, kind of like in that same pretense of the action of like writing something down and then throwing it away or deleting it or whatever, getting it out.
Right.
Let it land for a minute with you before you hit send.
Yep.
Okay, that was something else in me. That wasn't really the true essence of who I am, but here I am playing defense. And I'm going to throw this autopilot response out because it's, you know, I'm hardwired to do so.
Yep.
Gotta pay attention, right?
Yeah, man.
You know, and you got to surrender to the fact that addictive tendencies are a human trait. They are. Now, number 3, how do we put this ish to work for you? Okay. You know, you have to embrace that this is a human trait, but you have to spin it into a positive and healthy way. Use it in a healthy way. Be addicted to good things that help you move the needle. Use it as a human superpower.
Yeah, man.
But for the betterment of yourself, not the destruction.
100%. I mean, that was a huge key for me in the transformation journey over the years, was understanding that I'm hardwired to make things happen. I don't have a slow speed. I just have a go like hell mentality. But do good things.
Absolutely.
Like with the working out and things like. And yes, you can take good things too far, but still, that's a healthy addiction.
It is. No, it is. I think it'd be nice if we get past the negative connotation of addiction and realize it's actually a human trait like breathing.
Right. The same stigma with failure.
Yeah.
I mean, failure is actually a really good thing in a lot of ways. You know, working out as an example.
Yeah.
Like if you go to muscle failure, that means you're growing.
But
that's how you. Yeah. You
Right
got
here.
to take it there.
You got to have it in the head, though. You got to have the mindset to realize that this is a good thing, not a bad thing. You know, and I think if folks can realize that, you know, you can find a way to use this addictive power, addictive behavior to work for you, to move the needle for you, to improve your life, you know, your health, wealth, and overall latitude of all things sacred, right?
I love how you're putting the word power to it, because like for me, like what you're just saying, like if we think of superheroes and comic books and things like that, why are we so fascinated by them? They all have their unique power.
Yes.
Like your addiction can be your unique superpower.
Well, that's Stan Lee and every other, you know, comic writer. You know, that's what they did. They would find something and they would exaggerate it.
Yeah.
And say, but this is a thing. This is like, look how cool this is.
Right. And that's why we're so fascinated by it.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, so I think we have opportunities to do that, right? One, you got to own it. Okay. You just got to know that addiction's a real thing and you're addicted to something. Okay. You might not be the next after school special waiting to happen. Okay. But you're addicted to something.
Yes.
Okay. You're addicted. Make it work for you. Make the addiction work for you. You know, if you're not going to be intentional with it. So number 2, right? That's where Autopilot's going to step in and handle it for you.
Yep.
Okay. It's just going to happen. You already have wired yourself. Right? Now it's time to unwire, reconnect, right?
Reprogram.
We talk about it all the time, but we're getting granular with it because I think what I'm realizing is that I've personally been addicted to certain behaviors, to certain anxieties, to certain outcomes, and creating and fostering this kind of environment that's going to lead to an ultimate outcome that I already preset.
Yep.
Because I'm wired that way. So I'm like, I'd rather be addicted to being that calming voice, because that's great too. That's a great feeling, and you don't tether yourself to anything.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
powerful,
unbelievable,
man.
So, be aware of your addiction, change your addiction, right? Stay away from autopilot. And lastly, put this human trait to work for you. Level up off the addictive tendencies of the human race, okay? You can make it work for you, okay?
It's how we get stuff done.
That's it. And really to put a button on this whole thing, TD, we all come to our own realizations when it comes to what we are tethered to, aka addiction. Call it whatever you want.
Right.
Okay, I don't care.
Yep.
Okay, it's all the same thing. You're addicted to a certain set of behaviors that lead to a certain set of outcomes.
Yes.
Okay, and if you're not aware of that, that might be a reason why you're not moving the needle the way you want.
Man.
And then if you really want to turn the corner, you really want to get in there, turn the key. Put it in there, make it happen, make that addiction work for you. Find things to be addicted at. Like, I want to be the best loan officer. I want to be the best motivational guy. I want to be the best fitness person. I want to be the best father, best husband, best spiritually, best friend. You know what I mean?
Because if you're going to put energy into it, why not be the best at it?
And be addicted to it.
Yeah.
Find your new addiction. Catch a new stride.
Yep.
And let's go.
Let's go.
Catch you next time. Want to take a quick minute to thank our sponsor, ccmindiana.com, for all your mortgage needs. Very competitive, ready to rock, ready to help you be a pre-approved buyer that can compete. Ready to get pre-approved for your next mortgage? Stop by ccmindiana.com and see how we can help.